Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everyone is okay. Passe Baller here. We will be starting things off right now for February 10 NBA Game Day Edition with the game between Toronto Raptors and Washington Wizards. But before we start, I'm just inviting everyone who have not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, Passe Baller, to please click on the subscribe button below and also include the bell logo or the bell button beside it. That way, automatically, you guys will be receiving notifications whenever we have a new video up. Now, let's take a look at the standings of these two Eastern Conference teams. Let's start with Toronto Raptors. Toronto Raptors is currently at number 8 with 11 wins and 13 losses. They won their last game, and that was a huge win because they did that against Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis Grizzlies, who already got Ja Morant and Valanciunas back, so that was a huge testament for their momentum right now because they did that. They did that win by 15 points. Now for Washington Wizards, they are number 14 in the East with 6 wins and 15 losses. They also won their last game that was against the Chicago Bulls. I watched that game and man, oh man, that was so close. 105, 101. And then lately, I gotta say, Washington, they've been winning. You know, they won against the Chicago Bulls. They won against Miami Heat, and there was even this crazy win against the Brooklyn Nets. So little by little, Washington is able to win, but they're still not able to get any kind of consistency. So that's the problem for the Wizards. Looking at the details, this one will be played at Washington, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. That's 8 a.m. Manila. The spread is actually plus 5.5 for Washington for the home team, and then of course that's gonna be minus 5.5 for Toronto Raptors. Of course, home court advantage that will be enjoyed by Washington Wizards. And I'm looking at the fatigue factor that may come into play. Both teams actually had their rest last night, so it shouldn't be much of a problem for me. Um, Considering the momentum, I still gotta pick Toronto here because for the past 10 games, Toronto has won 6, while for Washington Wizards, they just won 3. So for the past 10 games, again, Washington Wizards, they just won 3 out of 7. That's just 30% winning. So despite of the wins that they've had lately, for sure it has impacted their confidence and all that. But in terms of momentum, I gotta say that Toronto Raptors should be having more confidence, and savviness in terms of them playing in the court. Okay, so I'm looking at the injuries just to consider everything. Start with Toronto Raptors. They still ain't having Patrick McCaw and OG Anunoby on this one. Both players are still out indefinitely. But the big thing that could really impact this game is the possibility of Kyle Lowry not playing. Kyle Lowry is still listed as questionable for this game, and this is due to some back spasms. So yeah, it could really be something really, really huge, especially for Washington Wizards, because Kyle Lowry is a great defender. If he would be out there, then he would be able to stop and help in defending Westbrook or maybe even Bradley. That's how good of a defender Kyle Lowry is. Even though he would give up, a few inches in height, he would still go out there and hustle for the defense. So let's see, and let's see the development of this possible injury of, well, it is an injury, but of the possibility of Kyle Lowry being out on this game. Well, while for Washington Wizards, everyone is actually healthy. Of course, Thomas Bryant, he's already out for the season, but the rest, I'm looking at the injury list right now. Nobody is actually tagged as injured, or nobody is listed as questionable or whatever for tomorrow's game against Toronto Raptors. Okay, so it is now the time for us to pick I gotta say this one's a bit um, a bit hard because again, although Toronto Raptors versus Washington Wizards, I guess this one's easy if we would just take a look at the papers. Toronto Raptors is definitely the better team here, and most likely Toronto Raptors, would end up with a win here. But considering, of course, the spread, which is 5.5, so Toronto Raptors minus 5.5, that starts to give at least me some doubts if I gotta go with Toronto Raptors or not. Because again, lately Washington Wizards have been winning. We saw how they did that against Miami Heat. We saw how they did that against Brooklyn Nets, the mighty Brooklyn Nets, and now they just did that against Chicago Bulls. Um, but I'm looking at the scenarios here. They did that. They did that on those three teams, and only one team, and that is the Brooklyn Nets, uh, who was actually having a good run when they did that. What I'm talking is when Washington defeated them, and Toronto Raptors is again having a very good run right now. For the past 5 games, Toronto Raptors won 4 out of those 5. And again, for the past 10, Toronto Raptors won 6. So I'm siding with Toronto Raptors still. I know there's a possibility that Lowry would be out, but I trust that Van Vliet can actually take over. Plus, Siakam is actually getting back into his senses, so to speak. He is scoring well, defending well, and all those. So I'm quite confident that Toronto can still manage this, even with the possibility of Kyle Lowry not being able to play. So again, my final pick on this one would be Toronto Raptors minus 5.5. For those who have Facebook accounts right there, on the upper right hand of our YouTube channel, there's like a button there with like a Facebook logo on it. It says message me. Just click that and it will actually lead you or bring you to our Facebook page. Just follow and like that page. It will allow you to have access to the old videos that we have if you want to check them out. And you can also send us messages or questions through our messenger account if you want or need to. Okay? Just stay there. We will be uploading the other videos for this game day. Peace out. Pass I love. God bless.